Welcome to the Unfuck Your Fitness podcast. I am your host, Christy Castillo, and I'm here to give you real talk and cut the BS so you can actually enjoy building a body you love. I'm a personal trainer obsessed with giving you simple action steps to take you from feeling stuck to feeling sexy. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's episode. Today we are going to be talking about how progressive overload can help you see the results you are looking to see in your fitness journey, the results that you are looking to get, the body that you are looking to achieve. Sometimes we are putting in a lot of work and just not seeing the body that we want. This was me. And so to start off this episode, I definitely want to dive in and talk a little bit about my own journey again, but in a different way to kind of explain where I was with this and how I figured out this progressive overload situation. You might be familiar with progressive overload and you might not. So I'm also going to talk about what that is, what that actually means, and all of the things. But definitely this is something I learned by example, as like personally, as is everything that I share with you on this podcast. To be honest, it's something that I learned by going through it. So I started out my fitness journey wanting to look toned and I guess look strong. I didn't realize that actually meant building muscle and gaining some weight and actually getting bigger and growing a booty and those kind of things. I just actually thought I just want to look different. I want to look strong. I want to have muscle tone. I want to have abs. I don't know how to get that, but I think it's by, working out, obviously. And so I started doing, as we've talked about before, Beachbody workouts, P90X specifically. And that went into Insanity by Beachbody. And then that went into bodybuilding workouts, bodybuilding.com, and different scenarios, which led me to figuring out that progressive overload is actually what I need to be doing. And it eventually was what I was doing, not really on purpose. And so basically in the beginning of my workout journey, I didn't know what I was doing. And so just like many of you, I, started a workout program. I started doing the workouts, was very, very consistent with them, started to see results because anything that you're doing differently before this, I had just been running. And so of course, picking up any kind of a weight and, doing workouts consistently for 90 days, 120 days, whatever, I was very consistent. I was seeing my body change. And at first I was very excited in the changes in my body, obviously, but I began to plateau and I couldn't see further change in my body. I kept doing the same workouts. I kept at it. I never, ever stopped working out, but my body wasn't changing and I wasn't looking how I wanted to look, considering all the work that I was putting in. And so if you've ever felt like, man, I am running, I am walking, I am doing all the workouts, I am showing up, even sometimes I was following a plan and I was doing things right according to that plan. It wasn't the right plan for my goals. I didn't know that. So you can be feeling like you're doing a lot of things right, but you're not seeing the results that you want. And this could be why. So at first, when I realized that I was going to have to lift heavier, right? I kept hearing progressive overload, lift heavy. I was afraid of getting bulky or looking manly, which now I know has more to do with nutrition than weightlifting. But back then I was scared. And honestly, I would see other women with body types that I liked lifting super freaking heavy in the gym, loading up the barbell and, doing 3 reps. Here I am doing 15, with little tiny dumbbells and, thinking that I liked their body. But for some reason I thought if I were to get under a barbell and just lift super heavy, I will start getting bulky or I will look manly, which I don't know. I don't know where that came from, but eventually I went for it. But that's my initial thought was I can't do that because that's going to make me, too big. And if you think about it on that note, just really quickly, if you see a very strong man or a very strong woman, you have to know that they spent a ton of time working to get that size, years. If you see someone and you think, wow, that person is really, really strong, like huge. And you might even think like that lady is huge and I don't want to look like her necessarily, like good for her, but that's not the body type I'm going towards. So I'm not going to lift as heavy as she does. I want you to know that it takes years of strategically planned work, strategic nutrition, a lot of weightlifting. And for the average female, male listening to this, if your plan is to just look toned and like, if you're not aiming to get as that size, trust me, you will not, especially women. Like there is no way without a plan to get that big that you will look that big. Do not think that if you do my workouts or any other workout plan program, and even if you lift heavy, you're not going to look that big. Like that takes serious years and serious effort. So I want to just let you know that from experience, you will not get too big too fast. Like you are in control of that. Also, calories are what will cause you to feel fluffy or feel bulky. If you are working out and you're lifting weights and you're feeling like I'm getting bigger, I'm getting bulky, there's fat covering that muscle, making you appear fluffy and larger or whatever the case may be for you. It's not the muscle itself. So building muscle will not make you bulky or look manly or too big. It's the fat on top of that muscle that's making you appear that way. If you've ever felt that way, I don't say this to scare you or anything like that, but if you've ever felt like, oh, I started lifting weights and I'm feeling bigger, that's why. And so it's really important to have your macros in check. So you're losing fat and gaining muscle at the same time so that you don't feel that bulky, fluffy feeling. And if you do, it's okay. It's a simple macro tweak change and it's fine. But anyway, I digress. I was lifting the smallest weights. I was doing cardio videos and I was not doing what I needed for the body or the lifestyle, honestly, that I wanted. And so what it came down to was I wanted to look basically how I look now. I wanted to look strong. I wanted to actually be strong. I wanted to look like I was in shape. I wanted to not look skinny. I wanted to look toned. And so insert progressive overload. This is how, if you are feeling stuck at all in your workouts, you're doing all of the work, you're not seeing the results that you want, or you've plateaued, like it's okay to be doing a workout program, see results, try it again and not see the same results, not be as excited about it. Like, well, my body didn't change as much the second time around as it did the first time. It's not that there's anything wrong with you or the program. It's just that your body has changed. You've progressed. And so you need to do something different. So let's talk about progressive overload, what it actually is, what that means. And it's not that complicated. And so a lot of times when you're seeing things on Instagram or Facebook or social media or YouTube, wherever you're getting your information, and you see progressive overload, that's what I'm not doing, right? I don't want it to be this thing that seems like you can't achieve it or that it's really, really complicated. It's not. And so it's not something that like just bodybuilders do. It's simple things that you can do. It basically means progressively challenging your muscles. If you're doing the same workout plan for years and years and years, your muscles will get used to that. Yeah, it'll still be like cardiovascular or it'll still be better than nothing, but it's not going to challenge your muscles and they won't grow. And so it's okay to outgrow that and try something different. Basically, that's just progressively adding more, overloading your body and your muscles. So technically, progressive overload is when you gradually increase the weight or the frequency, so how often, or the number of reps in your strength training routine in your workouts. This challenges your body and allows your muscles to become stronger and therefore they grow. So what that technically means is you can do the exact same workout week after week after week. And it can be the exact same, movement, but if you you increase the weight of the dumbbells that you're using, or you don't take as long of a break in between each move. And so you're challenging your muscles by not resting. So they're not fully rested. And so it's going to be harder to pick that weight up and do the next move. That's challenging your muscles. Or if you add on reps to that same workout, you can take the same 5 moves, but increase the weight, take less rest time, and increase the number of reps. You're increasing your overload. That is progressive overload, and therefore challenging your body in a different way and not just doing the same workout over and over. And that's a little challenging, but challenging your body in different ways so that your muscles actually become stronger. And so I'm going to give you a couple tips on this, but what I want to say is that is to, again, refer that just to like your own journey and my journey specifically. When I started, I do the same workouts. I've done the same workouts basically, and not like the exact same, but the exact same movements. You will not come to my social media or my workout programs. You will not see fancy movements and you will not see really, really different movements. We are doing a lot of these same movements. We're doing a lot of squats, a lot of lunges, a lot of chest press, a lot of the same movements in different varieties. Sure, there's a front squat and a back squat, and there's side lunges and there's back lunges. There's different variations of each movement. So there are a lot of exercises, movements that you can do, but generally they need to remain the same so that you can get stronger in those workouts. If you're always doing a lunge with a burpee, with a jumping jack, you're not actually increasing the weight that you're lifting in one of those movements because you're doing them all together and you're doing a lot of jumping around and you're moving your body, and cardiovascularly, that's good, but you will plateau physically with muscle growth if you're not challenging. And so for me, what I actually did was I started to do a program, and I'll talk about this a little bit more in a second. This is one of my tips, but I literally had 5 scheduled workouts a week, and I did those for 4 weeks straight. And so every Monday for 4 weeks straight, I did the same workout. Every Tuesday, every Wednesday, or whatever day it was my day to work out, I did the exact same workouts for an entire week for 4 weeks in a row. And I increased my weight every single week, not by a lot. This can be like adding 2.5 pound plates on the side of, my dumbbells or my barbell. This can be like, so increasing weight, picking up the next, size up in my dumbbell, or if I couldn't do a size up, I would add 5 reps on. So I was in every single movement each week, I was challenging my body either by decreasing my rest time, adding weight, or adding reps. I did that for about 4 months, and the change in my body, mind you, I did no cardio, none, because it was middle of winter. The change in my body was unreal. And I'm actually getting ready to launch a program that is going to be really focusing on progressive overload. And I'm super pumped. And the link will be in the show notes for that program. It's called Body Boss. And it's going to teach you, sidebar, this program is going to teach you, I'm going to walk along with you and coach you and have trainings in there. But the workouts and nutrition are going to actually teach you, we go through the holidays this year and everything, on how and why this actually works. And a lot of these workouts are going to be like that, where we focus on getting stronger. But back to progressive overload, what that did for me was really showed me that this is true. I had to put this into effect for a good few months to really show myself that, first of all, that I can do the same thing over and over and over, increase my weights and have it be okay, and not do new movements and mix things up and make it exciting. And the change in my body was unreal. And so I was sold. And this is how I've been training my ladies. This was a few years ago that I did this. This is how I train my ladies now. We do this for a few months. So it's good to do this for a few months. And what you will do is the first Monday, let's say you will start your base workout, right? You will start with not a light weight, but one that you can move up from every week. So you'll start Monday with, a lighter amount of weight. And then you will build. So the next Monday you will lift heavier in that workout or increase your reps, whichever. The next Monday you will challenge yourself a little more. The last Monday of that month, the 4th Monday, you will go all out and lift as heavy as you can. Even if you can't do the numbered reps, you want to lift as heavy as you can with good form. That is so important. And then when you start the next month of workouts, it's called a deload week. And so you will start with the lighter weight again, to get used to these new movements, to let your body have a week where you just lift light and you let your body rest. And so it's really important that you go through that cycle of the deload week first, increase, 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 and then another deload week, increase, increase, increase. And so you're doing these workouts just like this for about 4 months. And then after that, you'll take a month and we'll do something different and kind of mix it up for you and let your body rest, have a couple deload weeks, do some different movements, mix it up week after week. And so your body is guessing again because it gets used to what you're putting it through. And so we want to keep it guessing. And so that's how that will technically look when you're building your workouts. You want to keep it really, really simple, like 6 moves each workout and just really get stronger in those workouts because that will cause your muscles to grow. And if your macros are on point, you will be losing fat, gaining muscle, and your body will change drastically. I can't express that enough. Progressive overload is the only way to see your body composition change. So for example, I went from I would say that I looked skinny, small. I was very straight, like a stick, like a box. I had no shape to my figure. And so doing certain workouts allowed me to, grow my glutes out and grow my lats and my shoulders out, like my upper body. So my upper body got wider and my glutes got a little wider, which made my waist appear smaller. And so my body composition changed. You can't change the look of your body without having shape, and you can't have shape without muscle. And so it's very, very important that you understand those things as well. And also just know that it's going to be a challenge mentally, but it is so worth it. And so just a couple tips on progressive overload and applying that. Number one, you want to have good form. There have been times where I have just upped my weight just to see if I could do it, especially with hip thrusts, for example. And I have hurt myself, not necessarily hurt myself, but had nagging pain and felt like my form was just off. And so it's really important that you do all of this with good form. If you cannot increase your weight week to week to week, increase your reps and lower your rest time. That is still overloading and that is better. Increasing your reps of a lighter weight is better than increasing your weight and hurting yourself. Change one thing at a time. Like I was just saying, it's best to keep your workouts exactly the same. And I know that can sound boring. Like, Christy, you want me to do the same workout every single Monday for 4 weeks? And the same workouts week after week. And I thought the same thing. Like I looked at my program and thought, this is going to be so boring. Like I'm going to do the same workout week after week. And it was a little boring, but I found it to actually be simple. It added to the simplicity. So I knew on Wednesdays I'm doing, leg day. And on Friday I'm doing upper body. Mondays, full body. Tuesdays and Thursdays were always glutes and shoulders. So I knew what I was doing. There were times when I'm like, I absolutely despise this workout and I don't want to do it. Those days were hard. But when you are seeing change in your body that you've always wanted to see, when you are seeing the results of your hard work pay off, you will do the draining, boring, shitty workout. Not necessarily shitty in the sense that it is like a bad workout and it doesn't work. But sometimes you look at workouts and you're just like, I do not want to do that today. But if you're seeing the changes from it, there were a lot of times where I'm like, I do not want to do this glute workout. They were all banded and it hurt so bad. But, for the first time ever, I had a little booty. And so I was like, okay, Christy, these are the movements that are making your booty grow. Get out there and do it. So it adds to the simplicity as well. It's like having staple foods. You know what you're going to do. It takes the guesswork out. You know what day of the week it is. Get out there and do your workout, get it over with, move on with your day. And so it makes things very much, less dramatic and less complicated. Focus on reps and sets. That's very important. And then my last tip to kind of go together is to log everything. You have to log every single weight that you use and every single amount of reps that you use, because when it's the next Monday, you're going to look back and say, okay, last Monday I lifted 10-pound dumbbells for 15 reps. This week I'm lifting 12-pound dumbbells for 8 reps. You want to, make sure, or you're lifting 10-pound dumbbells again if you don't have 12 pounds and you're doing 12 reps instead of 10. So you're not increasing weight, but you are increasing reps. Make sure that you're increasing. So focus on your reps and sets, not new movements, and make sure that you log every single movement that you do. And something I always do on my log sheets too is if I'm having a rough day, I'll just write at the top, felt very weak today, didn't eat enough yesterday, so that I can look back and maybe I couldn't. There are a lot of times when I cannot progress week to week to week on weights. And there will be times where your body's just maxed out. You can't always progress. You just want to be trying to. And weight, you can always progress in something. If you can't lift heavier weight, you can always increase the reps. But there are times where I will make a note at the top of my page and just say, like, having a rough day, everything felt super heavy, felt frustrated. But I can look back the next week and say, like, oh, last week I was really struggling. I felt kind of weak. I did it anyway. And this week I'm able to increase. And so you can always see your progress as well. So it's very important that you log all of that. So I hope that this was very helpful. Progressive overload is one of the things, almost the most important thing as far as your workouts and changing your body. It is something that will cause you to see results very, very quickly in your fitness journey. It's something that's very, very important and often overlooked. If you are following a program from someone and they're not constantly having you like do different movements or to challenge yourself in those, or if they're not having you increase the weight, or if you're not able to increase the weight, definitely take note of that. And if you are doing, just random Pinterest workouts or YouTube workouts, and you're not challenging yourself by picking up heavier weights, I want to challenge you to do that. Maybe stop looking for brand new workouts and just pick, 5 that you can do. Make sure maybe they're different body parts, but pick 5 that you can do week after week after week and keep them basic and see if you can increase your weights. Do that for 4 months. And I would be interested to see how your body changes and how your mindset changes as well. I think it would be very beneficial to you and very eye-opening to see that it can just be really, really simple. So as usual, if you have any questions, reach out to me on my social media. I'm Christy Castillo Fit at Instagram, Christy Castillo on Facebook. You can join my Team Christy Facebook page. You can shoot me an email. I would love to hear from you. If you are interested in the program that I spoke a little bit about earlier, the information for that will be in the show notes, and that starts very, very soon. It's a 4-month program, and it's just a one-time deal. So if you're interested in that, get over there and sign up. And if you're listening to this late, there are definitely other ways for you to work with me. But again, I hope you really, really enjoyed this episode. Keep it simple. The goal is to be strong, not skinny. And I can't wait to talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to today's show. Go ahead and leave a rating and a review. And of course, follow the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And I would love it so much if you came to connect with me over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I will see you next time.